How what's up, y'all? It's popping this D. About to react. About to react to this video. This is tell me the wildest thing your white date has ever said to you. What? I've heard some things to myself, you know, from some of my friends or whatever, and it sounds crazy. I personally have never dated anybody non-black because I've told y'all before, but white people do not approach me ever. I've never been hit on by a white man in my entire life. I don't know what that's about, but you know, you're lost, whatever. But you know, apparently they be saying some crazy shit. So let's see what's on this comp. Let's watch.
You've dated a white person. Stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever said to you.
Yeah. So I dated this white guy who almost only dates black women, right?
Red flag.
And cool, whatever.
No, not cool. Red flag.
But a couple months into the relationship, we started having arguments, and it was stuff that I didn't feel was worth arguing about. And it got to the point where he wanted to be upset and say that I was trying too hard to change him because I asked him to not use the N-word. Yeah, I asked my white boyfriend to not use the N-word, and he got mad about it. He thought just because his non-white friends, who also weren't black, since they were okay with him using it, that it would be okay.
Sis, you exposing yourself and making yourself look crazy more than anything, but go off.
To use her on his black girlfriend and her black family. Needless to say, I'm single now, so
And you've dated?
Why'd you even have to ask him, hey, can you stop saying the N-word? I've heard you say it multiple times. Do you think you can stop that?
A white person. Stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever said to you.
So I have before shared the story of the time my ex-boyfriend's friend stole his phone and texted me from it saying he'd always wanted a black girl to dom him and get revenge for slavery, which, one, that wins. That will forever be the most nuts insane thing a white man has ever said to me, even if it wasn't who I thought it was. But in terms of things like actual romantic partners have said to me, this guy I kind of dated and like really thought I liked said, I like you, you're cute, but you're trouble. You're just not the kind of girl I can bring home. Which I think we all know that's just a very coded way of saying I can't and won't bring a black girl home. But it was also so confusing because he used to make fun of me all the time for being a goody two-shoes. Like I had to talk you down from getting on a motorcycle high, but I can't meet your parents.
If you're a non-white person and you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest.
Nah, because this one was meant for me. So let me tell you what happened, okay? One of my exes is white, right? I'm not going to say which one. I'm just going to say one of my exes. If you know me, then you know which ex is white. So it wasn't him that said the crazy shit. It was one of his parents. It was his dad, actually. So his dad asked me, could he tell me a joke one day? And I was like, you know, no. But my ex convinced me to let his dad tell me his joke, because I guess he didn't know what the joke was. I don't really care. So he says, what is black people's favorite tree? Like our favorite plant. What is black people's favorite plant? And I'm like, I don't know too many herbalist black people.
Marijuana.
What's the joke? He says apple trees because they like to hang from them.
Yeah, no.
If you're a non-white person and you've dated a white person,
Yeah, I have patience
stitch
for
this
this.
and tell me the wildest.
I'm Mexican. I dated like 3 or 4 white guys.
Cute
Let's
glass.
do this. Starting with boyfriend number 1. He told me that my being Latina was technically a kink, and his family would call me Indian because it was basically the same thing.
What?
He also used to call me brown all the time. What the fuck are they always doing that? Boyfriend number 2, I didn't date for that long, but he did make a point to say every time I ate anything remotely spicy, that is so Mexican of you, babe. But y'all gonna love boyfriend number 3. Let's start off with the fact that he told her friend she's not bipolar, she's just a spicy Latina. He once told me he knew more about cooking Mexican food because, and I quote, he lived with real Mexicans. He once told everyone that I was gonna give him brown-skinned babies with blue eyes. Also, his name was fucking Maverick.
A white person and
She was
a
funny.
white person. Stitch this and tell me the
She was
wildest
nowhere
thing
near
they've ever-
brown. Sorry.
All right, so I'm going to break the rules a little bit on this
Married.
one. My ex-husband was white, and We were together for 13 years, married for 7. So I'm going to talk about something he said, something his family expressed, and something the community that we were in expressed.
Because whatever.
So I was the first and only black girl he's ever been with. And besides saying that he'd never seen himself having a mixed or colored or non-white baby, he would make remarks. I'm not going to go into detail, but like about things about my body that he was just not used to or did not expect it to be the way it was, or how different things about my body were from a white woman's body, for instance, like the color of my areolas or things like that. And and he didn't say anything with like malintent, but I don't think he clocked or realized that, you know, growing up with
he didn't watch ebony porn, cause nigga, why don't you know that
Eurocentric
before you married a black woman
standards, how some of those comments could be taken. His family made it very clear that his grandfather didn't really like black people, thought that they were ghetto and just didn't like black people, and I was in fact the only black person that his grandfather liked. And I don't know what kind of compliment that was, but it was supposed to be a compliment. So we met and dated at a Christian college. We interned at churches together, and we eventually went into full-time ministry together. And I can't even count the amount of white men who wanted to remind me to be more submissive to my husband. Whether I was actually saying anything or not, I was constantly being reminded of, you know, what my place was and how I needed to behave, and that God would be glorified through my submission.
If you're a non-white person and you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest thing they've ever said to you. I'll go first. I'm already going to break the rules because it's not necessarily something he said per se. It was a number of things, but it was more how I felt. He was the sweetest, nicest guy ever, okay? But like just typical cis-het, able-bodied white man. Like just so ignorant to the world outside of that perspective. To the point where I was like, okay, if we're gonna get more serious, I'm gonna have to make sure you're cultured. So I sat him down and we watched an episode of Wildest. And needless to say, he was a little traumatized. Anyways, a couple months went by and I was like, all right, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I could date a white man. I can't. And it was time to break up with him. Again, he was so nice. He was so freaking nice. But like, I was terrified of going over to break up with him. To the point where I sent a bunch of my friends my location and I was like, if I don't text you in an hour, come and get me, something's wrong. I genuinely thought he was gonna like lock me up in his basement. Granted, I had just recently watched the movie Get Out, but like white male rage is no joke. I was terrified. If you're a non-white person and you've dated a white person, stitch this and tell me the wildest.
Oh, there's so many. Being
so make it quick, sis.
A Afrocentric woman in Canada, but let's start with the one at my ex-boyfriend's place, who also happened to live with his roommate, which is also his best friend, and he decided to say to me while we're just watching hockey, nothing crazy, we're watching hockey, he turns to me and he's like, Tiona, so why do black people like chicken and watermelon? So we're watching a hockey game. I don't know what that has to do with, but since you asked, they're actually given watermelon in the field, so they didn't actually have to give them food. It was like,
girl, I hate watermelon.
That's
a weird, but I've told y'all that I think watermelon tastes like fruity spit. You know, like someone ate actual fruit, real fruit that is juicy with flavor, and then afterwards they spit in a cup, and then you drink that spit. That's how watermelon tastes to me. But these people, first off, I can't have any sympathy for you because I feel like you was letting a lot of their racist shit slide for you to be with them. You know, this one lady who told me she was with this nigga for 13 years. I'm pretty sure there was a whole bunch of racism in that time period. So you're trying to tell me now a couple things that he did is just like, well, girl, what? Why are we entertaining this? Why are we staying? Of course, these white people are trifling as fuck and ignorant as fuck and racist as fuck. And yeah, you should be done with them. But I'm also side-eyeing y'all as black people, to be completely honest, because I'm just like, how long y'all was together? How many times you let this slide? That one lady who was talking about, I asked him, can he stop saying the N-word? If you gotta ask somebody to stop doing something, that mean they were doing it multiple times. Why'd you let it slide multiple times? Whatever, this y'all life, do you, I guess. But no, I don't have the patience. I would be open to, exploring other races, in the future sometime if necessary. But yeah, if I get any, like, the smallest hint of you on some bullshit, I gotta go. I'm not giving you no opportunities to correct it. I'm not about to give you no pass or nothing, because fuck out of here. But yeah, interesting. If y'all had any experiences, definitely let me know. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see you on the next one.